back.
What is up, fellas?
Hey, we don't see his
What's
back.
up?
Hey, Diaz.
Steven, how are you, good
man.
sir?
Dude, I'm living, man. I'm excited to do this TWAB with you, brother.
Did you get my text?
I did. I responded to you.
Did you also see the pic I sent you?
Oh, we're not talking about that yet.
I told you there was no pants. Oh wait, we're live now. Shit, damn it.
Oh man.
I'm not wearing anything, so I'm
How's
up.
Bomb and Nuggets doing tonight?
Doing well.
Get the
Got to
show
leave work
going.
early.
It's Friday, baby.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go over Void 3.0, and we're gonna go over the new TWAB. What I'd like to do is start with Void 3.0 since it's a little bit, like a little bit older content, but at least get everyone caught up on it. Steven, you good with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Got it pulled up.
So let's start there, fellas. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do the damn thing. A closer look at Void 3.0. With the Witch Queen expansion for Destiny 2, Guardians will face unparalleled threats. From exploring the seat of Savathun's power, her mysterious and nefarious throne world, to facing the Lucent Brood, hive enemies capable of wielding the light. Players will be tested in ways they've never been challenged before. It's a good thing, then, that the Guardians come prepared. In addition to a new power cap and a host of new weapons and armor to use in the fight against the enemies of humanity, Guardians will also be imbued with brand new capabilities thanks to some significant changes coming to the Void elemental power coinciding with the Witch Queen expansion. The Void update, which we call Void 3.0, is the first overhaul of Destiny 2's elemental powers to come in Year 5. Look for Arc and Solar changes in the future. Alright, so we know Arc and Solar are coming. It's been rumored that they're actually way down the pipeline. I don't know if you guys have heard the same, but don't expect that next season. Expect that 2 or 3 seasons from now.
I thought they had said that it was supposed to come in think of the bracket of Witch Queen, right? So it comes before Lightfall, but after obviously not season whatever it is, 15 or 16, whatever next season is.
Mhm.
But maybe 2 or 3 seasons from now. Give it
would only
6
make sense.
to 12 months,
Yeah.
Because it says come in year 5. I guess Witch Queen is year 4.
Ish, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, we'll see.
Void abilities haven't really been developed since 2017, and they were a reaction to the sandbox that was in Destiny 1, said Destiny designer Kevin Yanes. With Void 3.0 and the other elemental changes to come, the team had a set of goals they wanted to obtain to bring these classic elemental powers in line with the challenge level and balance of today's sandbox, as well as to strengthen the overall fantasy that is at the heart of each element's playstyle. We're trying to codify each of the damage types so that each element has its own world of gameplay that it's dominant over, Yanes said. For example, stasis is the domain of crowd control. We looked at what Void was about the thematically and mechanically. Void is about gravity, it's about space, it's about the cosmic. That means we want things to feel like you're shooting black holes that drag people in. Dude, that's so dope. That sounds juicy.
100%.
There's a lot of personality we can draw from that creates cool mechanics. The first big Void 3.0 change is the introduction of aspects and fragments. Alright, so we know we're getting back into that. They're bringing it to Void. First introduced with Stasis and in Beyond Light, aspects and fragments give players more options to choose from when it comes to the abilities they want to use in battle. As with Stasis, aspects are class-specific, selectable items that give players additional actions they can perform within their elemental subclass. Fragments are non-class specific complementary perks that players can select to enhance how they play the game. How players choose to combine their aspects and fragments is a key component of build crafting their Guardian. When developing the new aspects for Void 3.0, the team worked hard to center them around new actions, verbs, as the team refers to them, that define what Void should mean going forward for players. It wasn't just like a passive or a perk. It should feel like a new thing that you were adding to your toolkit. Yang said, all of the actions feel like they have new performance to them. They are reinforcing that core fantasy. These verbs manifest themselves in the forms of new actions for players to use in the heat of battle. New actions such as the Trapper's Ambush will find the hunter diving and slamming into the ground, weakening enemies and causing nearby allies to become temporarily invisible. Titans will be able to grant barriers to allies, and Warlocks will be able to summon entities from beyond the void to help turn the tide of battle. Oh, it sounds so good.
Yes, it does.
None of that was available before the Witch Queen. The old Void subclass Diamond system was rooted around a melee augment, a super augment, and then 2 passives. What we've done is essentially added 2 new sections. Yes, you still get your melee. Yes, you get your super. But now you get 2 new things that either plus up your existing kit or give you something you didn't have before. We've taken elements and abilities from the diamonds and promoted them to full-size aspects. The Warlock's Chaos Accelerant ability is a good example, where the Warlock can charge the Void Grenades into more powerful versions and throw them. While that's something that's existed before, we believe that the performance and the identity of that ability is strong, and it should feel like a unique ability, enough to stand on its own as an aspect. With the upgrades, we're trying to take the cool parts of what already exists and then add in new stuff where we feel like there are holes to be filled. Before we take a deeper look at each class's implementation of Void 3.0, let's align on some terminology. Some Void attacks apply 1 or more of 6 buffs and debuffs that confer a tactical advantage to the Guardian. Steve, what are those?
Suppress. The target is taken out of any active ability when suppressed. While suppressed, the target cannot activate any abilities or movement modes. Combatants are disoriented. Weaken. The target takes increased damage, has slowed movement, and is disoriented. Volatile. The target will explode in a void detonation upon taking additional damage. If the target dies before Volatile has taken enough damage to detonate, the detonation happens anyway. Invisibility. The player vanishes from sight and does not appear on radar.
Oh shit.
Overshield. The player gains a protective barrier that immediately stacks on top of their existing health and shields, and intercepts incoming damage. Overshield reduces the damage taken from PvE combatants. Devour. Player is immediately restored to full health upon activating Devour from any source, and it's granted grenade energy. While the player gets any kill with Devour active, they are restored to full health, granted grenade energy, and their Devour buff timer is extended. That's lit.
I'm
Now,
gonna just throw in a little teaser, Steve. The second one from the top, Weaken. What was that one thing we loved just a few seasons ago that was wrapped around
Oppressive
Void?
Darkness.
Yes. We're gonna hit on that in just a little bit.
I really hope they bring that back.
Well, maybe they're listening, Bon.
As part of it.
Maybe they're listening.
Alright, let's check out the class by class.
Nuggets is here. He's a Titan main. Nuggets, you want to do this one, brother? Oh yeah.
Titan. A Void-enabled Titan is a stalwart shield of a fire team, whether serving up Ward of Dawn protective bubbles to withstand furious enemy assaults, or charging the battlefield, shield in hand, mowing down opponents one shield toss at a time. Previously, the 2 supers, Ward of Dawn and Sentinel Shield, were tied to one another from a control standpoint, so that Titans had to use a similar input and sit through a chunk of the Sentinel Shield activation animation before the Ward bubble was created. With Void 3.0, the 2 functions are separated, which means that the Ward of Dawn is now nearly instantly activated. In addition, the Ward of Dawn has been moved to the fastest super cooldown tier, making it much more available to the Titan in need, and making things soloing a lot easier.
Oh yeah. It'll be really interesting seeing it just be down into that let me get over here.
That first video actually shows the animation. It's super quick.
Yeah.
This change means it's a much better reactionary defensive tool, said Destiny designer Mark Humboldt. So as an example, if a hunter were to jump at you and cast Blade Barrage, the Titan can now pretty reliably activate Ward of Dawn before any of the enemy supers land and survive as a result.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. You're gonna love it. Just as before, the Sentinel Shield will allow Titans to traverse the battlefield, bashing foes with their Void Shield or tossing their shield as melee attacks. Thrown shields will damage opponents and apply volatile, if controlled demolition is equipped. While shield bash kills will grant a full overshield. There are 310 aspects to choose from with Void 3.0. Controlled demolition. Hitting a target with a void ability or volatile detonation will make them volatile. Bastion. Casting Barricade generates overshield for yourself and nearby allies. Those bunkering behind the shield will regenerate overshield over time and extend the overshield's duration. Lastly, Offensive Bulwark. While you have overshield or inside the Ward of Dawn, grenades charge significantly faster and you have increased melee damage. You can also gain an additional shield throw for your Sentinel Shield super.
That sounds juicy for GMs. While you have overshield or are inside Ward of Dawn, grenades charge significantly faster.
Right.
Yeah. Depending
If we do have some crazy oppressive darkness nades action, that's gonna be dumb.
Yeah.
Depending
just
how
level up
Weaken
under-
works, I'm definitely gonna be running like Bastion and Offensive Bulwark.
Right.
So just to pretty much be unkillable
I
for a little while.
I probably am leaning towards controlled demolition and offensive bulwark. Honestly, I like the idea of Bastion, but as a Titan, I don't play that defensively. And granted,
I'm
it's
talking
not
about, like-
it's not defensive, but
Like soloing things. If you need to hold a plate and,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to say Harbinger, but it's actually
Pit of Heresy.
Pit of Heresy. Yeah, if you want to do that encounter where you're holding the plate, hey, there you are. Free overshield.
Yeah.
That keeps regenerating.
I actually use Trinity Ghoul in that encounter, and I just keep shooting shit and hoping things die. But I mean, it's on a Warlock with Devour. It's very useful. But on a Titan, this is like mandatory, honestly, to get the W, man. You have to have this stuff. It's cool.
Alright, should I continue into Hunter?
Sounds good.
Or should we have our resident Hunter main Hood? Actually, no, you're a Warlock main. Never mind.
Yeah, but I was the former Hunter main. So.
Yeah, the former Hunter main.
We now bow to
I
you,
actually
sir.
don't have the TWAB pulled up, so I've been reading off D-Res's.
Oh,
Is that okay? Hold on. Let me pull it up.
you're in the TWAB reader's voice channel bomb.
Alright.
It's alright. I'll forgive you this time.
Some of us were prepared.
Alright.
I'm reporting him.
Reported.
You cannot do that.
Alright, I'll time him out, boys. Hold
You
on.
can, oh.
I can mute him anytime I want.
I gotta time you out too, not get swag.
I can mute myself
Alright.
anytime I want.
I love you.
Sorry about this, my friends. Okay. Here we go. Alright. The Hunter prioritizes movement and stealth in the heat of battle, whether it's enjoying a few moments of tactical recalibration in a tense encounter, by briefly vanishing after dodging an attack, or setting snares and traps to disorient and slow their opponents. A fight with a Hunter is always a study in agility, surprise, and deadly precision. In addition to the Spectral Blade Super, the Shadow Shot variants that Hunters are accustomed to, Deadfall and Mobius Quiver, will still be found in the Void 3.0 updates, though there are some changes to be aware of. For example, Mobius Quiver will fire volleys of 3 arrows that will now track targets and make them volatile if they are tethered. In addition, with Deadfall, the Void anchors that are dropped after Shadow Shots will now pull enemies toward it when it impacts a surface or target. But that's sexy. The Hunter Snare Bomb melee ability will now weaken opponents. In PvP, players caught in a Snare Bomb will have their HUD removed and an obscuring screen effect applied for a short period of time. Hunters will have 3 aspects to select in Void 3.0. Trapper's Ambush. The player can activate Quickfall to spend their melee charge and dive to the ground, creating a smoke cloud upon impact. Enemies caught in the cloud are weakened, and allies become invisible. In addition, snare bombs upon attaching to surfaces or enemies cause nearby allies to become invisible. Vanishing Step. Dodging makes the hunter invisible. Stylish Executioner. Defeating a void debuff target, weakened, suppressed, or volatile, grants invisibility and true sight. While invisible after a stylish execution, your next melee attack weakens enemies.
Sounds like you could push this whole weekend status. on your enemies for quite some time.
Well,
Yeah.
they're also, it sounds like they're really trying to open up melee builds.
Yeah, it sounds like they've kind of defined what our limits are and pushed them further as far as your solo survivability. A lot of this is going to benefit a player who wants to go through the story with a challenge, but wants to try it alone,
Right.
or just enjoys doing it alone and, obviously playing with their friends via Discord, just talking, but actually taking in the content by themselves.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the feeling of I've got to play super carefully because I can die in a second. Now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I can take a little bit of risk because I have these options open to me that grant me, some leeway.
Why does that make it sound like you're gonna want to solo flawless the legendary campaign and not play with any of us, D-Rez?
That's I can guarantee you that won't happen. I'm gonna go through it with somebody or somebody's.
I will be there.
I can tell you though, I don't have any of those days off, so it'll be like this time, time-wise.
Yeah, I don't think I do either, even with.
And I'm not asking anybody to wait for me, honestly. So,
Oh, I'll wait for you. 100% wait for you.
dude, are you gonna be off that day though?
I don't know, man. It's all hanging on this.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on with
So-
jury duty?
This is something to keep in mind too. There's really no rush with the legendary campaign anymore because we don't have to power level to the soft cap anymore because of the rewards from the legendary campaign.
Right.
You get double rewards.
Yeah, well, double rewards and doing all of the missions, completing the entire legendary campaign will grant you a set of 15-20 gear.
Right.
Nice.
So you'll already be at soft cap.
You're past soft cap. You're
Yeah.
20 power into hard cap.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope
which
it's
is
not
nice
short.
because it means that you don't really have to, bounty prep and everything every expansion. You gain power by playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, right?
And we
Yeah.
all spent that time bounty prepping.
Well, so bounty. Don't
I
get me
did
wrong.
not.
Bounty prepping is still going to be useful because of the seasonal artifact.
Yep.
True.
But it's not going to be helpful for the soft cap grind anymore, which is fine because bounty prepping has never been about the soft cap grind. But that's a different discussion.
All right. So I see something really nice on my screen, and it says Warlock. The infinite mysteries of the universe are the playgrounds of warlocks. When they aren't nose deep in an ancient text, warlocks are floating across the battlefield, healing allies and creating havoc among their foes. Void 3.0 fine-tunes these powers, and the warlock's new aspects will, among other new abilities, summon a brand new type of support from the yawning void of spacetime. The Nova Warp Super lets warlocks quickly teleport from one spot to the next, and players can choose to let loose with a deadly void eruption. With the Vortex Super enhancement, a player's Nova Bomb will now draw enemies into the singularity it creates, damaging them once inside. Casting a Nova Bomb with the Cataclysm enhancement will cause it to travel across the battlefield and seek out enemies. Detonations will shatter into smaller Seeker projectiles, and shooting the Nova Bomb will cause it to detonate early. The Warlock's melee Pocket Singularity fires an unstable ball of void energy that detonates when it's near enemies, pushing them away from the blast and making them volatile. According to Destiny designer Mike Humboldt, he expects this melee will find particular use in the Crucible. Oof, dude, we're gonna have our moments that's actually gonna piss us off, but it's gonna feel good when we execute. We do a lot of PvP testing, and knocking someone who is trying to shotgun rush you off the map with a Pocket Singularity is always a good time.
A lot of PvP testing. Say that again, but slower.
AKA, we just make things broken and let you enjoy it for 3 weeks, and then say,
And then
hey,
nerf
this is your last day.
Yep, and nerf it into the ground and make it unuseful.
As with Titans and Hunters, Warlocks will have 3 aspects to wield in Void 3.0. Chaos Accelerant, which is when you hold down the grenade button to overcharge your Vortex, Axion Bolt, Scatter, well, most importantly, Scatter Grenades. You always have to charge your Scatter Grenades. And your Magnetic Grenades.
Why wouldn't you?
Magnetic Grenades overcharge into a handheld Supernova. Feed the Void. When you defeat an enemy with the Void ability, you activate Devour. Wait a minute.
Yep.
So you just have to
Yep.
defeat him with a void ability to
I
activate
mean,
Devour?
that's how Devour
It is now.
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just
yeah.
making sure there wasn't anything tweaked there. Okay, it's the same.
Devour now only procs only when you consume the grenade, kill something with a melee, or kill something with a super. Now, the grenade, all three of them.
Oh, it didn't work?
Well,
Okay, right. It didn't work with the grenade before.
Yeah, you needed to, you know,
It just
consume
like...
it instead of throwing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Child of the Old Gods. Cast your Rift to summon a Void Soul. When you damage an enemy with your weapon, your Void Soul will launch itself towards them and detonate nearby, attaching draining tendrils which deal damage and weaken the target. When your Void Soul deals damage, it restores either melee and grenade energy, if you're running a Healing Rift, or your health, if you're running an Empowering Rift, back to you. Oh my God have mercy. Wow. So you could run an Empowering Rift, deal damage from your Rift, and get your health back.
Yeah.
So you either gain health from your Rift and gain melee and grenade from Void Soul, or flop it. Run Empowering Rift to do the damage and gain health. That's funny.
Defeating an enemy who is being drained grants Rift energy. So there's the icing on the cake. So this whole time you're actually refilling your energy while you're defeating enemies that are, you know, while you're in your Rift. Wow.
Nice little chain.
Designer Samuel Dunn calls the Child of the Old Gods aspect a passion project for him, something the team worked on for quite a while to get right. I'm a Warlock main at heart, and I really love summoning little friends like Arcsoul and Bleakwatcher to do my bidding. So I wanted to make sure that the Void Soul felt like a black hole, but with a little personality too. Let me just check this out real quick. Okay.
It's a prime example of gotta always charge your scatter nades.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so to complement the class-specific aspects, Void 3.0 will also introduce a number of new fragments, which offer new perks to build upon as well as odd bonuses. What the hell? As add bonuses or penalties to your garden's intrinsic stats. Here's a look at a few of the new fragments to come. Steve, what are these?
Echo of Expulsion. Void ability kills cause enemies to explode. Gives an intellect bonus. Echo of Provision. Damaging enemies with grenades grants melee energy, a strength penalty. Echo of Domineering. After suppressing a target, gain greatly increased mobility for a short duration, and your equipped weapon is reloaded from reserves. Discipline bonus. Echo of Undermining. Void grenades weaken enemies. Discipline penalty.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's Oppressive Darkness. Ah!
That's gonna be nice.
Woo!
I think even with the discipline penalty, it's still gonna be the go-to.
So
I don't know.
here's the thing, though: if you're running Echo of Undermining and Echo of Domineering, that discipline bonus and penalty basically even out.
Even up.
Correct,
And then
yeah.
if you're chilling there with a Titan in his bubble and you're getting increased grenades,
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
I mean, we're assuming that it's a -10, you know, just the one tier.
Yeah.
Like it
That's
is with
true.
those
It
places.
could be like a -30 or something, but I'm pretty sure they said somewhere that this weaken effect is only going to be something like 15%. It's
So
not going
it's
to be
not-
anything like crazy. Like Oppressive Darkness, I think was like 30% or something like that.
I didn't know that. I thought it
Yeah.
was... I didn't know it was
But
that much.
will it stack is the question.
I bet it will.
So, I mean, with the way it is currently, only one debuff is applied, and it's always the highest debuff.
Right.
Okay.
So we might still be getting, you know, some other debuff perk in the artifact, or we're just going to rely on Tether, you know, the new and improved Tether.
Right. And if at very minimum, this just makes our void grenades do more damage. If you're just throwing a void grenade to run past something, or there's a major chilling behind a wall and you just yoink a void grenade over there, it's gonna die quicker to your void grenade if you have Echo of Undermining.
I just love the fact that I would have the ability to weaken almost at any time.
Right. Right.
You know, I don't have to run a tether. I don't have to run tractor. I don't need divinity. What else?
You don't need someone else, helping you out with it either.
Yeah, plenty of debuffs in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another significant change from Void 3.0 is that all subclasses will have access to all Void grenade types in the game. For example, as a hunter, you'll be able to run with suppressor or magnetic grenades instead of choosing just between Void Spike, Void Wall, or
Oh,
Vortex.
dude, finally did.
In addition, some grenades will see upgrades. For example, the lingering field created by Vortex grenades will now suck enemies into it.
Lovely.
So that overcharged Vortex grenade with Echo of Undermining is just gonna and get all the goodness.
Oh,
It's so
can you
good.
PvP is gonna. Oh, okay. Yikes. I'm staying
I mean,
away from the Crucible.
That's the same buff they gave to the normal Nova, and that's so good because you know the same thing as the Vortex grenades. That initial blast would push enemies away, and they wouldn't get damage over time.
Bomb, this next sentence actually answers your question. Players who have played Destiny before the Witch Queen expansion will have access to all Void 3.0 aspects and most fragments with the launch of the Witch Queen on February 22nd. Several fragments will be available after the world's first raid completion, which means we might see some stuff that's raid specific, maybe? Who knows?
No, I think what they're trying to do is limit the possibilities of something like that benefiting you to then completing it faster.
Yeah.
Now, what else happens after World's First? You guys can probably guess. Name one thing you know always happens after World's First.
New mission, more
Yes.
story content.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Steve actually puts his pants on. Or maybe. I don't know.
Whoa.
But,
Whoa.
yeah, I don't know. Just
Dude,
depends.
that's-
I'm putting my foot down on that.
Ouch, dude.
Damn.
What?
Dude,
I mean,
Destiny
Ellie
2
sometimes walks in and she might not want his junk out. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Hey, I am a bachelor for all intents and purposes until Sunday. So.
Then there's Heath.
Yes.
And then there's Heath and the horse.
Oh,
you know what I
forgot
mean?
about Heath.
And the horse.
Heath will get over it.
All right, new Destiny 2 players will earn their aspects and fragments as part of the new light game experience, so it's just going to be tied into that new light quest. Across these ability tweaks, new powers, and build crafting options, one theme is clear. The team behind Void 3.0 is focused on giving Guardians the chance to fulfill the fantasy of their chosen class by giving them ample opportunity to do what their class does best. As Dunn puts it, we've built out multiple ways for the player to access and key off their core verbs. For example, Dunn said the Titans have several ways to earn and extend Overshield in a fight. 1. Use the Bastion aspect to create a barricade to grant Overshield to you and your allies. Then use the Shield Throw melee to grant an Overshield, as does the does the Void Shoulder Charge. That's a fucking blah blah.
I love all the overshielding.
Yeah,
Right.
with Overshield, the Titan also gets increased grenade recharge and melee damage.
Oh, gosh.
As a result of these new build craft options, players can double and even triple dip into these verbs, like Overshield for Titans or Invisibility for Hunters. As Dunn sums it up, it means you can do the things that your class is supposed to do all the time.
Nice, dude.
Void 3.0 arrives to coincide with the launch of the Witch Queen February 22nd, 2022. It's on Tuesday.
Alright, so we've got this spicy TWAB that came out just yesterday. We're going to pop into this VDoc here. Steve, let's just open that
What
up.
you were talking to me about, Stevie? This is the one?
No. This
Okay.
is not the one.
We're going to kick it into gear right here. We're going to play this YouTube. Alright, let's do it.
Do it.
I know what you're wondering. What is true and what is false?
You still have your
is an unsettling.
I've got it playing.
playing.
Our biggest foe, Sabathun, has our grandest tool, the light.
Alright, let me take that
Just
down.
paying off narrative threads that we planted way back in Destiny 1.
I'm here to protect humanity.
How do we stop this?
The stakes in the universe are rising, and it's the greatest challenge that we've ever faced.
We're shedding that dogma of light equals good, darkness equals bad. We're really entering the mists and trying to discern what's in front of us and what's lurking just underneath the surface.
That's a special place right there, where those worm things came
There are a
out.
lot of bombshells in the Witch Queen
What's it called again,
narrative,
Steve? Augment or something?
and that's
Fundament.
just scratching the surface
There you go,
of what
Fundament.
we're gonna get into this year.
It's where the krill, everything was kind of built.
And those worms have been trapped for many years.
Witch Queen and Season of the Risen is chapter 1 and the beginning of the end for the Light and Darkness saga.
We're really getting to the core of what it means to be a guardian. We are looking at and asking big questions about the light and darkness.
We have a big bad that we've been anticipating for a really long time coming back in the form of Savathun.
Savathun's had a hand in most of the major conflicts that we've been involved with.
We've heard about Savathun for years and just bits and pieces, and then like you see it slowly building over seasons until we come to this huge critical point.
Savathun's no longer just someone you hear about.
She's not just interfering in little ways. She's now ready to take center stage.
Sight. 1, 2, 3. Savathun, she's larger than life. We wanted to make her feel imposing and very
there you go.
dancing through motion in some way.
There's a dude that made your Savathun Savathic.
She's very manipulative. She is very ethereal, but she also has like that creepiness to her as well.
She promised she'd help us out with this pyramid ship problem that's coming our way. But the reality of the situation is Savathun is only on Savathun's side. We've outlived our purpose, and it is to Savathun's benefit to wipe us off that chessboard.
She's lived among us. She has played us for fools. She knows us inside and out. And she's been a step ahead of us, like, the whole way. So how do you beat someone like that?
It isn't too late. You can still be forgiven. Be careful. I'll hold you to it.
In order to beat Savathun, you need to understand Savathun.
Her throne world is a manifestation of Savathun's own personality, which is in Witch Queen going through a transformation through the light.
She has these areas that she's kind of trying to shun and push away. For the old hive areas, it's much more atmospheric, it's very dense, it's very claustrophobic, it's spooky.
Dude, I love it.
Then when you make your way into the Lucent hive area, it's a lot more open and broad. It's definitely brighter, it's definitely more lively.
We want people to look at it like an impressionist painting, something that's very pretty from far away, but as you get closer, it's not really what it seems. It's very unsettling.
You're looking at shapes, you're looking at these things within the world, and you're not entirely sure what they are, and you have to get close and you have to investigate.
What's really going to be exciting for players is that they're going to get to play that part of psychic detective, trying to solve the many mysteries of the throne world.
Witch Queen campaign, I think, is probably the most ambitious campaign we've made in a very long time.
We're building the Definitively Destiny campaign, so leaning into the journey you can find in exotic missions or the mechanics you might find in a dungeon.
You have to kind of think your way through. You have to figure out, like, hey, what do I need to do next in order to get to the end of this?
We've got Savathun, right? The Queen of Lies. So this campaign is full of surprises.
Savathun has all these abilities, and you got to make sure that all of the abilities of the bosses would be something worthy of her. And as I kept thinking about this, you know, I felt like I was really becoming Savathun.
We've also added the legendary difficulty, which is called Become Legend.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's gonna be loaded with these moments that are gonna be frustrating, almost like teeth gnashing, but when you get through those encounters, you're gonna feel like really accomplished.
Double rewards, yeah.
As people who have worked on raids and dungeons before, being able to broaden that experience for any kind of player who comes in is really important.
If the Witch Queen is the psychic detective fantasy and journey, then Season of the Risen is that same detective throwing on their flak jacket and defending Earth from the Hive Guardians and the Lucent Hive and Savathun herself.
When Savathun shows up on our doorstep with the light, the first person to lend us help is Keitel.
You want us to hit them? I need us to hit them.
She's got this light suppressing technology that the Cabal were using in Season of the Chosen, and now she's going to help us use that against the Lucent Hive.
When you're working with Keitel, she has a different approach. It's not about asking questions, it's about getting in there and extracting.
We don't really understand what happened when Savathun actually was able to take light. So the campaign in Season of the Risen in many ways is about that story. Guardians need to stop Savathun's advance beyond the throne world. And Savathun poses an existential threat to everyone because she basically has an undead army.
In fighting the Lucent Brood, this isn't our first time in the game fighting other Lightbearers, but it is the first time that we'll be facing other Lightbearers that have much more relentless motives.
When you look at these Hive Guardians and when they do their abilities, you immediately make that connection like, oh, they are using my powers against me. As soon as we see the Knight pop its super and it has 2 shields, you immediately are
That's
like, oh
crazy.
yeah, I see that connection.
Yep.
And then it's like, and then you're like, it hits you with those things and then you're dead, and it's just an amazing experience.
The Guardians themselves kind of feel like a fire team that you're fighting against. You got every class represented.
The Acolyte, when that character casts, does very similar thing as the player, like the Arc Wizard. The sparks go out, it's ready to go. If you're not smart about it, if you're not paying attention, you are essentially going to have to play that fight
They're
over
pretty
again.
spot on.
If you're successful in taking down
Such a
one
big
of these
kid, I
Hive
love
units
him.
that are wielding the
Yeah.
light, you actually have to go up and kill their ghosts.
No, this girl is cute, dude.
That was like one of my favorite
Bonnie
things we were
Burton,
able
what's
to do
up?
in this game. Is
Like,
just that
let's go.
moment where you crush the ghost.
It's kind of this moral dilemma. A ghost is your companion, and now suddenly you have one in your hand and you're about to crush it.
The first time it happens, you're like looking at your hand like, I can't believe what I've just done. Am I doing this? Should I be doing this?
I have a ghost.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
What
Like, what
is
does this
going
mean?
Savathun and her Lucent Brood are the most dangerous enemies we've faced so far. And so we're going to need better, more powerful weapons and tools to fight against that threat.
That guy
We
looks
did
familiar.
a bunch of work early on looking at various
One of the
different
weapon devs, I think,
types of
or like
weapons
creative
we could
leads.
add to the sandbox.
We wanted
Seen him
to
invite us
introduce
before.
a special weapon archetype that was effective more at a middle range, but
Yeah, where is
also
this
had
girl's
these
mouse
kind of
pad?
additional roles associated with it.
Not all of us have
The
a mouse
glaive
pad.
is a projectile weapon, and it is a shield, and
Yes,
it's a
I know, I
melee
probably should
weapon.
get one, but I
We
don't.
wanted to keep that experience in
Dude,
first
my whole
person.
desk is
It
a
has an
mouse pad.
immediacy that you don't really get when you're using a sword because the camera is so
Wow.
much further
Think
back.
about the others
Because this
here that
is
don't have
also
mouse
a
pads
projectile
before you
weapon
talk.
with a slower moving projectile. The onus of skill on aiming these weapons is about leading and compensating for the speed of the projectile and anticipating that. If you're in a really difficult encounter and one of your teammates dies somewhere out in the open where you normally wouldn't be able to get to them, you can bring that shield up and actually get the revive and
Oh,
then
yeah,
fall
dude.
back.
D-Res, right there.
Glaives
Yeah,
originate
Guardian
with
down. Oh, D-Res is down.
Savathun
Fuck.
trying to steal an extremely powerful
All right,
weapon for
let's
her own use.
pop the shield, get
and
D-Res up.
players will use the weapon crafting recipes that they find throughout the campaign in order to reconstruct this incredibly powerful and incredibly ancient weapon.
When you put together your glaive in the campaign, you just get a taste that that's what you want to do for the rest of the weapons that you get.
Weapon crafting lets you target a specific role and go and build that, and you know how long it's going to take you to get there, and you get exactly the thing that you want.
I really want to see what people do with it and like the feedback that we're gonna get and people sharing all of the things that they're doing with that new system. You're creating your guardian and you want to be able to shape your guardian into what you want them to be. And this gives us a great opportunity to continue to do that.
This is a really big season for weapons in particular. We've got 8 brand new exotics. The Osteostriga exotic submachine gun. This is something which Guardians have made, but it's modeled after weapons of sorrow, like Thorn and Touch of Malice. Fires swarms of tiny homing projectiles that land on a target and then explode in this poison burst. We have an exotic machine gun where the whole idea is
This thing's insane.
be the Colossus. You can launch a barrage of up to 20 homing missiles.
Listen to
a
this.
comical amount of projectiles on the screen.
It's like Warcliffe coil on crack.
Glaive for each
Right.
class this time, and the exotic
It sounds
class
like the
tie
Warcliffe
deeply
one.
into the
Doesn't it?
mechanics
Yeah.
of classes.
Ridiculous number
I
of
think
stuff
they're
on
going
the
to be
screen.
really cool additions to build crafting. We've got, the usual suite of raid weapons, destination, activity, seasonal. I recounted it this morning, and I think it's about 50 new weapons.
You're going to have 2 new exotic armor for each class, totaling 6, 1 stasis, 1 non-stasis. The Titan stasis exotic. Cast your barricade, and instead of, this Traveler's Light and the Rally Barricade, you create a giant wall of ice. Even though this thing is massive, you still get all the benefits of a Rally Barricade. Warlock Void exotic, we called them the Devouring Rift legs because we wanted Empowering Rift to feel like it had a place in endgame content the way that Healing Rift does. Empowering Rift doesn't heal you, well, what if it did?
In Season 16, you're going to see a massive revamp to the Void subclass system.
Get the best
across
of both
all
worlds.
3 classes. This is a huge update and will allow players to build craft in ways that they've never done before.
One of the things we wanted to do is create a core set of verbs. Like
What is
we
that
did with
hunter's
stasis.
stats,
Anyone
bro?
can run suppressors now. I think that's the pretty cool
That's
thing
probably-
to be
I'm
able
gonna
to
be
do.
running
Yeah.
suppressor grenade probably.
Dude, rip stasis,
I
man.
wanted you to feel like you were the energy vampire. Feel like you were the Night Stalker, right?
This is
Feel
gonna
like you were
drop
that
their usage
protector, that big
dramatically.
Sentinel Titan. So you're gonna see things
That's a
like
good thing.
Bastion,
Yeah.
real Titan aspect, where you take your big old Sentinel shield, slam it into the ground, and create this void barricade that's gonna apply overshield to you and your buddies.
My favorite aspect is probably Child of the Old Gods. As this warlock controlling space and time, I'm able to rip a hole into another dimension and then pull out this little sentient black hole. Whenever I target an enemy, my little black hole buddy is gonna fly over there and start draining their life force.
The Void 3.0 update is really setting the stage
Oh
for
my
how we're
gosh.
thinking about updating the subclasses for the rest of the year.
We're gonna extend this philosophy to Solar and Arc. Solar obviously is gonna be about burning, but there's this other component to Solar, and that's healing. Arc is all about chaining. It's all about lightning, direct attacks, quickness. We're gonna take the fantasies that you know and love today. We're gonna embellish them. So what you'll see is all of the new abilities, all the new actions you take, reinforce that to the core. Pretty excited about it.
Witch Queen is very much the culmination of the last
Same,
6 to 7
brother.
years of just Destiny all together. And really, this is starting the road to the final showdown. But things aren't necessarily just dark and light anymore. There's a lot more nuance in the game.
It's going to be a real fight. Players have something that they're really going to be challenged by.
I can't wait for everyone to find out what's been going on with Savathun. I'm excited.
You Guardians are so clever, aren't you?
From the throne world to the campaign to the customizable build crafting, it all comes together to make Destiny feel really new and fresh.
We've got more Destiny coming this year than any other year before. It's one of the most ambitious releases we've ever put together, and the team is firing on all cylinders.
Tell me, Guardian, what do you think you're going to do?
My video's up. I'll wait for you to catch up.
Love it.
Yeah, wow. That's all I've got to say.
So excited for a new destination, and
Right.
it seems like the Throne World is just going to be full of secrets and things to explore, or at least I hope it is.
It looks like it. It looks like there's puzzles galore, and we're probably going to be figuring stuff out 7-8 weeks into it.
Yeah.
More stuff for raid secrets.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say anything, but there are things that have already been revealed on raid secrets that haven't even been released in the game yet.
Oh wow.
What?
Because of the collector's edition. So people have already started getting their collector's edition for Witch Queen, and there's a bunch of puzzles and lore books and stuff inside there.
They better not know the last wish. Bruh. Alright. So getting back to the TWAB. Feeling like the rest of us and can't wait to jump right into the next chapter of the Destiny 2 story, we get it. While we can't, we'd love to, but can't. Gift the community with an early drop. There is an interactive experience available now that centers around Savathun herself and getting to know the enemy up close and personal.
This is what I was talking about earlier, Bob.
Okay.
Curious? As you should be. Feel free to mosey on over to that special experience by clicking this hyperlink right here. After reading the TWAB, of course. We're bonding.
Fine, hippie.
All about that Void 3.0. Another juicy tidbit that you may have missed is the hefty new blog post that offers a closer look at the revamped Void class. A change that is free for all players and one that just honestly feels really good for showing enemies who is boss. To read the full breakdown, check out our Destiny developer team blog post here, with a few key points broken down in a simpler format below. The introduction of aspects and fragments. First introduced in Stasis with the Beyond Light expansion, this offers players more options to choose from with how they take to the battle. Aspects are class-specific items that players can choose when using their revamped Void abilities. Fragments are non-class specific perks that are there as additional enhancements to how gameplay feels. That's a pretty nice wallpaper right there. If you'd like to add that, there you go. It's an easy save. Titans. Ward of Dawn can now be almost completely instantly activated, while also becoming the fastest super cooldown tier for ease of access. This change makes Ward of Dawn even more of a powerful defensive tool. Sentinel Shield will still let Titans harness their inner Captain America with Throne Shields, providing ranged damage as a shield bash grants a full overshield. Titan aspects include Controlled Demolition, Bastion, and Offensive Bulwark, all of which can be found in the full blog post here. What do you think, Bum? You can take over here. You're a former hunter main. What are they doing to hunters?
Let's see here. Crap. That was not. I was. Yeah, I've got it.
Pass my bear.
You're fired.
You caught me with my pants down.
What I want to know is if Titans have multiple melee abilities, because they have a shield throw that's being shown off, but they also mentioned the shield bash in the previous article.
It'll probably be tied to the fragment.
Right.
They go get both?
Yeah. It might just be like one of the extra.
Oh, like a double. Nice.
No, not the Void 3.0.
Alright, so I am ready to go. Alright. Hunters will still be the epitome of stealth, now with even more control over what their enemies see or don't see. Mobius Quiver changes will fire off a volley of 3 arrows that can track targets and make them fall to one tethered. Deadfall will see the Void Anchors pull in enemies to a desired location from a surface and target impact. Snare Bomb Melee will also do more to weaken opponents, particularly in PvP, when it removes an enemy player's HUD and obstructs their in-game view. Hunter aspects include Trapper's Ambush, Vanishing Step, and Stylish Executioner.
Steven? Are you a Warlock main?
Oh yeah. 100%.
Right.
I'm geeking over this. I love this picture, dude. That's so cool.
What, the Hunter or the Warlock?
No, the Warlock. No cares about Hunters, bro.
Right?
That is pretty
Who
dope.
likes being a hunter?
Warlocks. Float like a warlock. Ugh, sting like a bee. Because Void 3.0 fine-tunes what makes Warlocks so valuable and makes them truly a force to be reckoned with. See, straight from Bungie. Warlocks are the best.
Right?
Nova Warp Super with the Vortex Super enhancements allow players to teleport efficiently to unleash the ultimate Void attack while drawing enemies in and trapping them within a web of damage. Nova Bomb with the Cataclysm enhancement allows for more control when Warlocks are on the hunt for enemies to take out, particularly in PvP instances, and detonations will disperse into smaller tracking projectiles. What? Detonations will disperse into smaller tracking projectiles.
It's the Nova Bomb.
Yeah. Shoot the Nova Bomb, it'll also detonate early. A Void 3.0 melee with Pocket Singularity unleashes the Void that detonates when near foes, making them volatile while controlling their position in relation to the blast zone. Warlock aspects include Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, and Child of the Old Gods. What about new lights? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. New lights, or new players as we refer to them in the Destiny community, will be able to learn their first aspects and fragments during the new light campaign. During the Schism mission, players will acquire a new quest called Learning Light that teaches them more about their subclass abilities. More aspects and fragments can be unlocked by visiting Icor Array in the tower. In addition, new characters also have had their starting subclass experience changed. Not only will new Hunters and Titans be starting with the Void subclass instead of Solar and Arc, all classes will now start with Void subclass abilities intended to be more friendly and appealing to new players. Hunters, you get the Mobius Quiver, Marksman Dodge, Triple Jump Snare Bomb, and Scatter Grenade. Titans are getting Sentinel Shield, Towering Barricade, Catapult Lift, Shield Throw, and Magnetic Grenade. Warlocks are getting Nova Bomb Vortex, Healing Rift, Burst Glide, Pocket Singularity, and Vortex Grenade. I agree with all of that, minus Catapult Lift for Titan.
Right. I would
Disagree. Catapult Lift is definitely the easiest to learn because it's basically like a jetpack, where you actually get,
Yeah, but it doesn't
upward
give you
momentum every time you activate it.
Yeah, but it's
Not really, but
for
if
new
you're trying to
players,
make,
I guess.
yeah, they're not trying to jump across to the chest before Shuro-Chi. They're trying to just do a normal jumping puzzle.
Yeah,
and that's the easiest one to recover with.
But we're going to be able to then earn the rest of them, right? Like, in other words, earn.
Well, this is strictly for new lights.
This is just the initial settings on their subclasses. They
For
have
new lights.
all the options. Yeah, they have all the options of the grenades and the lifts and the jumps and everything. This is just what it's initially set out for.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna take whatever, like for Warlocks, right? I'm already using Axion Dart, Burst Glide, and Empowering Rift, so I'm most likely gonna be keeping your Healing Rift, Burst Glide, and instead of my Vortex Grenade, it'll be an Axion Dart. Pocket Singularity, I guess it's just gonna assume, because what's the melee ability for Bottom Tree, is Bottom Tree is just Devour, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it automatically going to assign me that fragment? Probably not. But it's automatically going to give me a melee close enough to it, I would guess.
Yeah.
With the same intent.
We all know enough to be able to switch to what we want. This is just for the new lights.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to look forward to in Void 3.0, and we can't wait to see what you think once you're in front and center in the action yourself. To learn more, including more about fragments, the full blog post can be found here to be devoured.
So this next section is special to Nuggets and I. Nuggets is a specialist at running content solo. I admire Nuggets' attempts and successes over time. I'm sure Steve and Baum can concur. Nuggets, you are a champ, a Pog champ, sir.
You have recently surpassed me.
Well, it's just been attempts that have been successful, and over the years you've done quite well at it yourself. So kudos to you, good sir. It looks like the legendary campaign is coming, but what's it going to be like, Nuggets? Tell us.
I will. Legendary campaign, it really do be like that sometimes. Some Guardians have been asking for more of a challenge, so the team here at Bungie has created a new legendary campaign mode that will arrive when the Witch Queen drops later this month. From reward drops to how it will differ on a base level, we wanted to dive just a little bit deeper into what this new challenging experience has to offer. To do just that, we've got design lead Matt McConnell offering some insight into some of the most frequently asked questions about the challenge ahead. What are the main rewards of completing missions at legendary difficulty? We've got double chest rewards offering 1 to 3 extra chests per mission.
Ooh.
Each chest will give you world loot or whirlpool gear, XP, upgrade modules, and Glimmer. 1 to 3 extra. Good.
So I think the way that they explained it, the double chest is gonna give you an extra chest per main encounter. And I guess they said on the legendary in the legendary missions, each encounter is going to have a rally flag to differentiate it between this is just a kill ads thing versus this is a actual encounter. There might be mechanics here, there might be something we need to learn about, there's probably a boss, so it's going to differentiate for that.
So some missions are shorter, some are longer.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Legendary players will be able to earn Throne World armor and unlocks at a faster rate. Basically, higher the risk means higher the reward, especially when getting to the new power level soft cap in the Witch Queen. And there's a background for it. Here's a wall boot.
Yeah, when I see this, right, what I think of based on what we just read is let's say we face a new room, a new area, and then there is an area where you drop a flag. maybe you'll run into a boss that's got void light powers, or a boss that has solar, light powers. So things like that might be our cue that, hey, it's about to get, a little hairy. And that's exciting.
I'm thinking the Lucent Brood are probably going to be our main, boss, quote-unquote, enemies in the campaign.
But this means new enemies, new models, new mechanics, new attacks, all of that.
Yep.
Happy. I'm excited.
It's like we're all going to be rookies again. I like it.
Yeah. Gonna bring us back to our new light days.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Are there any unique rewards for completing the story on Legendary difficulty? Completing all missions on Legendary will award players with the following. A new emblem exclusive to those who complete the campaign at Legendary difficulty.
I like that.
A triumph required for the newest title for Throne World. Can't wait to see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
A set of gear 20 above the soft cap at 1520 power level. Eat your heart out, people who power level. on the moon with bounties, or
finding
bounty
those
prepping
3 champions that you're just gonna farm on the moon for drops.
Mm-hmm. You also get 8 upgrade modules. Okay. And then new the Witch Queen exotic armor that typically is reserved for the PED Lost Sector drops.
Whatever that means.
I don't know
I'm
what the
guessing
PED
it's-
means, but it's the Legendary and Master Lost Sectors. I would guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure what PED means. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
don't know
probably
either.
one of the new 6 exotics.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So then also exclusive bunch of rewards. More on that in the future. I'm sure it's going to be store stuff to buy with money.
Yeah.
But I get to buy.
Stuff
Yeah,
that
money
Steve
TV
can
will
spend his money on.
Some players have been asking if this is a difficulty to be feared. How challenging is it? To set difficulty expectations, the Legendary campaign is designed to be harder than a Legend Nightfall, which is the second, or I guess third hardest difficulty, because you have
Right in the
Master
middle.
and Grandmaster. Though it is easier than a solo dungeon or running a Grandmaster Nightfall. So
Wait, what?
hard, but not the hardest in the game.
Harder
Solo Dungos, if you think of what I'm trying to think of, enemy density and enemy power, right? Solo dungeons aren't that insane.
Right.
When you look at those two things, trying to do a 3-person mechanic solo, that's difficult. But the ads and the boss usually themselves are not that difficult.
I feel like that's going to be the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not. I don't know. It'll probably have high replayability just because they're new missions, and we're gonna like that new story and all that. But it's not gonna be, the thing you do every single day. You're gonna do it, at least once, towards the beginning of the season to get that, 15-20 raise, and then you may not touch it for a little while. Go back to it some. I don't think it's supposed to be farmed.
Yeah, I don't expect people to be replaying it. I mean, doing it once on each character to get the loot.
Right.
But I definitely expect the replayability factor early on, especially for the guys that are going to be on a lot that first week. The replayability factor, I know D-Rez, you're probably only going to go through it 3 times. I know Bomb, you're probably only going to go through it 3 times. I will most likely be running through it numerous times. I can't tell you how many times I ran through the Beyond Light campaign. For people that got on later in the week that haven't started yet, or guys that get home from work late, and we'll just run it through. Probably after the 3rd, maybe 4th playthrough, Beyond Light started to get boring. But
yeah,
I think with this extra difficulty, it might be able to keep a little bit of that vigor, because it is supposed to be more difficult. And to a lot of people, difficulty is exciting. Difficulty is a challenge. So it might equal fun for running it more and more. We'll see.
It will.
I mean, and you get, the higher drops from the chests and Throne World armor, which we have yet to see where you can get that elsewhere, if it's only from the legendary missions or if it's from, a couple of things.
True.
Right.
A lot of things. You don't know. But, yeah, I'll keep going. Enemies are more difficult and more aggressive. They also have higher damage resistance, are more of a challenge to stagger, and shields are stronger to unmatched damage types. So I wonder if it'll be a full match game or maybe a little bit reduced. I don't know.
Yeah, baby match game and whatever the one that challenged to stagger one.
Iron.
Iron, yeah.
So the challenge of Legendary also comes from switching up enemy interactions and infiltration, like swapping out an elite for a boss or having an influx of more red bar foes, which is interesting.
Enemy density.
So I wonder if they're just talking about the difference between Legendary and normal, or if there's like some sort of randomization there.
I wonder
within Legendary itself.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna have they say swapping out an elite for a boss, but what about champs? Are we gonna see champs in the campaign? We saw champs in the preview.
I think it's
we know
a safe
champs
bet.
are coming.
But I don't know if it'll be like very prevalent, especially when you're starting off. You don't have all the mods yet.
What I did hear was the level of difficulty solo is different than if you're running it with other Guardians. I'm sure you can imagine what that means. If you have a fire team, it's going to be harder. So maybe in a 2 or a 3 Guardian fire team, you may see champs.
Right.
They go into that a little bit farther down too.
Yeah, so let me go. Can I over-level this content? Each mission caps your power, similar to the raid contest mode, so that all Guardians have an even playing field to avoid feeling like every step is a grind. The mission launch screen will have a skull displaying each mission's max effective power. If you're under level, be prepared for a bit of a tough fight. This is great. This is awesome. It's the same challenge for everyone. You can't really get by it.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Somewhere else. Alrighty, okay. Now to get back to your point a bit earlier. The mighty are forged in battle, but is it that way for solo players too? We've had a lot of aspirational content in the past, but Legendary gives us a chance to give solo players more equal footing with those that opt into playing with a fire team. Enemy damage and health scales to match the fire team, though won't be 1-to-1, because triple the boss health isn't fun. Even still, it will be enough to keep even a veteran trio on their ornamented toes.
Ooh.
So
Hello.
I guess they're changing the numbers and adding scales and stuff like that, modifiers or multipliers, I meant to say. I don't think they'll be changing the enemy density that much.
We'll probably see red bars be, majors, champs here and there, and then
I definitely think as you get farther in the campaign, you'll definitely see champs.
Yeah, I would like them from the very beginning. Honestly, like I don't want to breeze through this shit is my main thing, but I really feel like the point that they're gonna hit across is the harder the content, the bigger the reward, and it's gonna feel damn good,
It was one thing to Nugget's credit though, like obviously a lot of people aren't gonna have champ mods unlocked right off the rip.
Right.
So if you're encountering an unstopped champ, you can kind of just shoot those and hide and kite them around and kill them.
Yep.
But overload champs, if
And
you
barrier.
can't out DPS an overload champ and you can't out DPS a barrier champ, there's no way you kill it. So you either skip it or you let it kill you. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll have passive unstoppable champs. Like they make their presence known, they appear, they take damage, they maybe charge for a little bit and then pause. You see that in like master lost sectors where they're not aggressive.
Yeah, and you'll see too, I just kind of thought about this. There are weapons and armor that give intrinsic perks. So you don't have to unlock the mod. You can run with a Divinity or an Ariana's or
Yes.
Maybe keep that in your inventory and pull it like, oh crap, I gotta pull this out.
Those might be a day one thing that you bring in with you in case you don't have.
Like
mods.
you're gonna go on with your preferred loadout. I mean, for me, it'll be Fatebringer, Fusion Rifle and Galahorn.
But what's that
I'm
one?
not gonna stay in that, because obviously it's gonna be like, crap, this isn't working. So I want to switch out my Fatebringer with Ariana's or what have you.
Right.
But
Right. We'll have to adapt to the meta as we go because we can't figure it out just yet.
But Bomb, what's that one that you couldn't pull out even though you want to?
Shut up.
All right, never mind.
It hurts. I not forgot.
Dude, how badass would it be if one of the perks you can fucking build is Magnificent Howl? I will literally come at my desk.
Nerfed, though.
You will hear me sobbing, literally sobbing.
I would have to clean my desk. It'd be white stuff all over it. Oh, Lord.
I gotta clip this again. He made another cum joke.
Add it to the collection.
Sorry.
Wait, let me finish this section. We also didn't want to trivialize darkness encounters compared to solo play, so you're limited to 1 revive per player for each darkness zone, and a shared timer of 40 seconds before an automatic wipe happens. We said it time and time again, but you have got to stay close to your friends and be ready and able to pick them up when they fall.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
40 seconds. I mean, during a raid, that's usually like 2 minutes, a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I think the default raid timer is either 2.5 or 3 minutes.
It's a little over 2, I think. Yeah, it's like 2 minutes 40 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess I never noticed it until it's like a minute.
Yeah, nobody pays attention until somebody mentions, "Hey, you gonna get my res?"
We're kind of gonna wipe.
Guys, I'm over here. Wait, where's Hood?
Where'd D-res go?
We only have 4 people in this bubble, guys.
Guys, why is our DPS so? Oh.
D-res, what are you doing by the boss over there?
Well, hold on,
You
man.
only got half the damage.
Hold on, Bomb, who eats and then is stuck at the very beginning of the mission while we're halfway through the mission. Bomb, you there? Oh, fuck. Damn. I'll be there. Oh, shit.
At least they didn't try to sword the Templar. So.
Could be worse.
Hey.
I could be falling.
Don't make fun of my milk guys, okay? Milk guys stay together.
Hey, speaking of milk.
Yeah, I gotta go pour myself another glass. My throat's getting.
We can wait.
All right, well.
Do your thing, brother.
We'll sit here while you do that.
D-Res or Nuggets can keep going.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I have my headset on. I can hear.
Will players be able to tone things down if Legendary is a bit too much for their playthrough? For those folks that find the difficulty of Legendary too overwhelming at first, there is an option to leave a mission and relaunch it through the classic Destiny 2 settings. Some players will want to focus more on the story than on sweat for that first run, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
We want to support that. For those who want more of a challenge later, we've added nodes to replay the Witch Queen campaign mission on Classic or Legendary anytime, after you've beaten the mission once, of course.
So
basically, prepare to go ham or don't. The choice is
it's going back to Destiny 1.
Yeah,
which is awesome because
where the nodes will stay on the map, I'm guessing.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to do it all the time. It's not something you may even do weekly or monthly, but being able to go back to a specific point in the campaign, maybe it's your favorite, maybe you wanted to hear another voice line for some lore or something.
Right.
Just very, very nice.
It'll make it good for the
T-Rez, you
content
missed that in
creators,
Destiny 1. That was a lot of fun because it gave you. It felt nice.
Yeah, I get the thought of going back into a mission. Say you picked up a really good roll on a new weapon that you're really liking, and you're like, man, I kind of want to just go back through it with this gun, and feel like, man, look what I got during this mission,
Yeah.
And
that's another. I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're right.
Play it like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Heroes are always welcome. Destiny 2 community is one of the biggest, or one of the best in gaming, and we want to celebrate how incredible each and every Guardian is. Whether it be our revived, community-focused spotlights, the incredible charity incentives like Guardians of the World, or player-driven incentives like Operation Save New Lights to help guide newbies through new content. There's a lot to be thankful for when looking out at Destiny player base. One more way we're celebrating the majesty that is all of you gun-toting fashionistas out there is through a new series, Heroes Welcome. A new, ongoing video adventure that will focus on the players themselves in a vibrantly explosive tribute as seen in the style of our kickoff video below. The first video is just the beginning. In future features, we will directly showcase real players within the community and bring your Destiny 2 legends to life when we aim to inspire, new lights around the world. As an example, one of the Destiny heroes we're talking to is none other than the incredible Amazy. If the name sounds familiar, you may have seen a few Bungie devs share his epic impromptu Destiny raps on his streams. He kills it every time, never failing to bring the feel-good vibes that he and his community have to offer.
Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Who are the heroes of Destiny 2? They are the lone wolves and the fire team by your side. They are the fearless, the boss melters, the melee everything insiders. They are rescuers, revivers, and the solo dungeon divers. The grandmasters that conquer, and the secret chest finders. They're space wizards, unstoppable fists, and knife-juggling fashionistas. They're the shepherds who teach you, the guides who lead you to victory. They are the spotters at the back and the shields at the front, the slide to claim a zone, and the throw that clutches the win. They're lore readers and meta breakers. They sneak as they wait for the team to respawn and just barely land the jump to the next platform. They speed across planets on sparrows, fly through the stars, and dance a lot. They are the newbies and experts alike who might take a fall but keep on fighting. They're the community who brings strangers together, the friends who were with you from the beginning, and the new ones you made along the way. Are you ready to join them? Destiny 2. Heroes welcome.
You guys are my fire team. I don't know why that little ending credit where it shows the real people behind the Guardians, that makes me tear up every time.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much.
I know, dude.
Right in the feels.
Are you ready to join the future of Destiny 2? Good, because heroes are always welcome. Oh, you thought we were done? Ha, nane. We have even more community-driven videos to enjoy. We asked talented members of the Destiny 2 community and beyond to answer one simple question. What is Destiny 2? What makes this game so special? How does one even begin to describe a game that has evolved so much to a newcomer? What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything in it? While that last question could be a TWAB of its own, we're kicking things off with 3 game takes from Solar Flare, Carbon Animations, and MP Edits to see this expansive world looks through their eyes. So sit back, enjoy the jokes, the tips, and the gaming lens of these 3 amazing humans.
Alright, let's check out this first one. What is Destiny 2? This is animated.
So, you got distracted. Maybe you went to college, maybe a nifty job, contemplated the crushing weight of our human existence, but now something is missing and you don't know what it is. Well, have I got the solution for you? Destiny 2! It's free! Prepare to return to being a god-killing, time-breaking, paracausal space cowboy. I know we all know what Destiny 2 is at this point, but it might be a little different than you remember. Destiny 2 is a first-person RPG looter-shooter that takes place in the distant future. Every year there's a huge content release, and nearly every week there's new developments in the story that brings new loot to chase and new activities to enjoy. There are 3 classes to play, each with their own distinct perks to fit your playstyle. Thanks to that divine snowball ability, you can team up with your best friends and save the universe with any of 9 customizable super abilities to knock some alien socks off. Oh, you don't have to play Destiny with friends, but at this point, I talk to the people I met in Destiny more than some of my own roommates. Now, there's a ton to do with your friends. Destiny 2 has 3 types of activities, player versus player, player versus enemy, and a fun little hybrid in between. Whether you and your fire team want to take on other players in the Crucible or the alien warlords targeting humanity in strikes, dungeons, and raids, there's a nice variety of activities for you to hop into for free right now. And you can look damn good doing it. Or, at least, I look damn good doing it. Now, personally, I believe the true endgame is Destiny, and believe me when I say you can really show off your style in this constantly evolving game. I mean, what's the point of showing up if you can't show off?
Fallen must have gotten to
Not
him.
to mention, you have a huge volume of guns to pick from. With hundreds to collect and dozens of perks to choose for each of them, you have a ton of options to try out. My personal favorite is this bad boy. It shoots sunlight, and chases targets, and explodes. This is as great a time as ever to get started. You can catch up with your friends that are already playing the game by playing the way you want, even if they're on other platforms with crossplay. If you're gonna say, but I don't have 5 hours to play Destiny every single day like you do, guess what? Neither do I. There's still plenty to do when you play, even if just in short bursts, and pretty soon you'll be wiping the floor in PvP, playing some fan favorite raids, and getting a taste of an in-game story where you can watch thousands of pages of lore unfold in real time. Sometimes it's hard to know you're in the good times until they're already over. Download Destiny 2 for free on any platform and allow yourself to have those good times once again.
Literally dozens of apocalypses.
That was my favorite.
Apocalypses everywhere.
This second one is probably my favorite.
Order up there, D-Rez.
Just waiting on Steve to catch up.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, I started playing when you played it.
3, 2.
Nice landing. Man, it's been a hot minute since I played this game. Really? I couldn't tell. You look great. Want to jump right into the story? Apparently, an ancient super evil hive god called Savathun is plotting some super evil thingy. We've been chasing it for years now. I don't want to explore right now. Don't forget about your sparrow. Oh yeah, this game's tight. This game's tight. Freaky. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a public event. Anyone can start it and join, but it can be pretty difficult if you don't have any... Oh dear. Did I win? No, don't hurt me, please don't hurt. Oh, we'll take this. Let's do a space magic. Someone help me.
Me as a hunter is fine.
Oh god.
Me as a Titan.
Yeah, that's accurate.
There's nuggets.
Stand in the circle to be empowered.
And there's
I want
D-Red
that
as
voice.
How'd you do that?
I want that voice as everything for Warlock.
Oh, don't forget your loot. This game is amazing. Oh yeah, I got a new cave. It looks sick. And it's astronomically better than your old one. Hey, new guy. We were wondering if you wanted to do Vault of Glass with us. We could totally help you gear up and whatnot. I'm more of a returning guy myself, but remind me, what's Vault of Glass? It's a raid. Is that a yes or no? Can we? It's Destiny 2. You can do whatever.
That's falling every LMG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do you keep saying that? Man, I suck. Need a hand, new guy?
Very cool.
Give a holla to Samama.
And then one last one. So what exactly is Destiny 2? F2P in a nutshell.
Yeah, this is an MP edits video. This is lit.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, Guardians.
Would you like to play a game so good that it'll completely consume you? A game with so much content that it'll just completely strip your ability to have a social life? Well, you're in luck. This happens to be such a game. Lots and lots of space magic, otherwise known as Destiny 2. A free online multiplayer FPS of looting, shooting, and best of all, worshipping the Sphere.
The Sphere!
AKA the Traveler, which helps us get the loot by giving us awesome powers. Only it's a little bit more in depth than that. You gotta protect humanity as a Guardian. We use all sorts of methods to do so. To get started on your handsome journey as a Guardian of humanity, you must first choose one of the 3 combat classes. I'm gonna make it real easy for you. If you like to punch? Be a Titan. If you like to heal? Be a Warlock. Like to go invisible and sneak up on people? Yeah. Each class has its own subclasses of skills, and each subclass has its own more specific variations when you finally get to using your super ability. You could shoot, slam, explode, whatever you want to do to make your enemies feel as miserable as possible. And trust me when I say that there are many enemies across the cosmos that are asking for misery. Destiny 2 is a massive sci-fi world, crawling with different races of aliens, each with their own species of alien, all of which are sprawled across the massive free roam expanse that is the Destiny 2 universe. What's there to do with all this space magic between your fingers? Well, a vast majority of stuff is available right off the rip. You can let loose and explore the randomness of free roam activities.
You dare touch the war set?
Or you can experience one of the 3 game modes: Vanguard Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. The Vanguard Strikes place is the perfect place to bully those nasty-looking space aliens. On top of that, it's a really good place to level up and get new weapons to get a taste of the seriously vast PvE expanse that this game has to offer. Crucible's the place to be if you're looking to test new fancy schmancy guns against other players in the game. It's also a fun place to test out your space magic against other Guardians, and believe me, there are very interesting ways to do that.
See you later, enemy claims no A. Double down, triple down. Fantastic work.
There's also Gambit, which is the perfect place to be if you enjoy both PvE and PvP.
Then
in the
there's
same game.
Gambit.
Basically, you race against another team to summon the final boss and slow the enemy team down. You send your sweatiest player in to deter them.
I will not be sad if they decide to get rid of
Oh my
Gambit.
god,
Now, those game modes I mentioned are just the main 3. In all seriousness, there's a ton of stuff to explore. Between the epic campaign, free roam exploring, between the mind-warping dungeons like the Prophecy Dungeon and the raids like Vault of Glass, or just relaxing at the tower. With your homies.
With the homies.
Just so
Hell yeah,
calm.
dude.
With the mans.
Man, I love that sphere. Now, during your experience, you'll be rewarded with tons of loot between the normal stuff, with extremely rare and powerful amazing stuff called exotics. What you'll be mainly looking for, though, are the legendaries, since they have the ability to roll with endless perk combinations. When you finally get the roll you're looking for, I'll tell you to treat that weapon like it's your
Bombing
own
is not
child.
forgotten.
Now, this is a game that's constantly changing. It's an evolving world, seasonal expansions, surprise missions and releases, an intense
That
amount of
they
lore, and a community
tore
that's
from me.
dedicated to helping each other achieve their goals. Now, you can take on the challenges of Destiny 2 on your own, or you can game with your friends and crossplay across these consoles completely for free. Yep, won't judge you if you're broke. Only judge you on your class. It better be
Nice, dude.
Well, he is playing a hunter.
I'm kind of appalled as a Warlock main that all 3 of the people were hunters.
I mean,
all 3 main characters.
I threw up in my
was-
mouth that whole time.
Always been the predominant, first class that people use. Because I have cake.
Well, they just want to get the worst
Not
out of the
anymore,
way.
They don't.
They just want to get the worst out of the way first. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Bro, the little sound effects were so good.
So I heard you liked new exotics. These days, Destiny 2 literally has a fashion show, so I think we're long past the days of pretending Destiny isn't a massive flex of gear and those sweet, sweet dance moves. With more exotics on the way as we crush enemy hive ghosts with our bare hands, we wanted to give a little sneak peek at some of the new exotic armor that Guardians will be able to don and what sort of perks that come with them. It's all fun and games in the Destiny class war until somebody takes it seriously. So without further ado, let's dive into what goodies all 3 classes have in store with a little additional insight from the developer team. Ooh.
That's a nice looking helmet.
I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the Lorelei Splendor Helm for Titans is more than just a pretty face. It has the cauterizing flame perk that allows for sunspots to heal players. Ooh,
Nice.
Healing solo content. Thank you.
Yes, I like that.
When they have Sun Warrior. Critically wounded, no big deal. The perk also ensures that a sunspot is created in your location to give you that one last fighting chance with that quick grenade and melee ability recharge and longer supers. Good God, I just creamed in my pants. Add that one to the list, Steve. Add that one to the list.
Clipping it.
Plus, more damage, always a good thing. From the developer team, playtest name Stagspot Helm. The goal here was to embrace the awesome art and to give Sunspot players another choice besides Phoenix Cradle. Also, melee builds are becoming more and more popular, and this makes higher level difficulty melee more viable, at least in theory. The Titans Hoarfrost Z chess piece is also nothing to scoff at, though this one takes a chillier approach to combat for stasis users, with the Glacial Fortification perk. When a player uses stasis, it allows for a Titan's Barricade to become an impressive wall of stasis crystals. These crystals will slow any target that get too close, while also boosting a player and their fire team's weapon reload speed, stability, and range.
Nice.
This was a team effort. The original idea was to replace barricades with just a single ice block, but Kevin and the abilities team had some ideas and stuff laying around from Beyond Light for spawning crystals. To spice it up, We wanted to have it grant the new benefits of Rally Barricade, and then Yane suggested that the spawned objects could just be a stasis version of a Rally Barricade window. It proved to be a ton of fun, and the rest is history.
Question though, can you shatter it?
Oh yeah.
Probably yes.
Okay.
But dude, that helm, oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a must
I will
right
be
there.
farming for that.
Lorelei
Yes, immediately.
Splendor.
That's the only thing I will be farming for.
Right.
Until I get a good roll.
Steve, what's coming for Warlocks?
Alright, Warlocks, you're up. First, let's talk about them legs. Because Warlock mains have definitely been shouting out their love for the new Second Filaments armor. Secan?
Secan.
With the Devouring Rift perks, these shiny walking sticks of power will grant a player Devour when they cast their Empowering Rift, allowing for damage from both allies and individual players, the ability to disrupt foes. Stat.
Neat, likey that.
This started as, what can we give Warlocks that would make Empowering Rift a more viable choice in Master Plus content? We figured the answer, well, was make it heal you, and eventually we settled on what we called the Devouring Rift Pants. Overload was added to increase the excitement and expand the options for players who had to build for various champion-enabled content.
So pants that have overload champion mods built into them?
So the way that it sounds is that if you're standing in said rift, you now have overload?
It sounds like it, yeah.
What if I already do load through my pants? Is it indeed over or is it under? I'm not sure. We'll find out.
How about
through and all around?
Next up are the Osmiomancy gauntlets. Damn it, for Warlocks. I got the first
Good
word
job
right, and I
there,
said
Steve.
gloves. With the Fervid Cold Snap perk. This nifty look allows for Cold Snap grenades to have an additional charge that will recharge faster when it makes direct impact. The Seeker, spawned from Cold Snap grenades, also travels further too. About this. Since Hunters have had a Duskfield modifier, and Titans have had something like a Glacier modifier, it felt natural to give Warlocks something for Cold Snap. Fun fact, the ground follow for this is so fast that we had a bug filed to change how it acquired targets. The issue: a grenade thrown near a combatant's feet would spawn on the ground, would spawn a ground follow. Man, that's such a weird word.
Yeah.
That traveled through and behind the enemy, then turned around to come directly back towards the Warlock by the time the VFX was applied. It looked like the Cold Snaps were actively avoiding hitting targets and speeding directly away instead. Thankfully, that shouldn't be an issue at launch.
Let's hope not.
We'll get different issues.
Don't worry, Hunters. I still have love for you despite the jokes.
Yeah.
You've got
Yo,
plenty...
you're no, this is me, bro.
Alright, you got it.
Alright, first off, Hunters are a joke, but that
In all fairness, I wasn't sure if you still had it pulled up. So yeah.
No, I've had it pulled up since we got it, so yeah. You've got some pretty cool gear on the way, including the Blight Ranger Helm. Go Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. With the Voltaic Mirror perk. Lightning lovers, here's where your arc powers can truly shine. This perk allows players to redirect with their arc staff to deal an increased amount of damage and orbs of power generation for all allies. Basically, get in there and do some damage. Sounds like a good time. We wanted to make something for Arcstrider that leaned into an aspect of the super that doesn't normally get focus. There are players that love wielding other people's attacks, creatures, game pieces, etc. against them. This is for those people. And you are a bastard. And lastly, Hunters also have the Renewal Grasp to look forward to with the Depths of Duskfield perk. This gives Guardians a much larger radius for their Duskfield grenades, while also nerfing incoming damage for allies within the Duskfield range. Any targets locked within that space will also deal out a reduced amount of damage, so go out there and make those Hive cry.
That's actually going to be super useful in just like general end game content, I think.
Yes.
Because you're not necessarily debuffing the enemy. You're debuffing the enemy's
Damage.
output. So
Yes.
it's like
Right.
you're buffing your resistance.
Yes.
Finally,
Yep.
something that makes hunters useful. Hey!
Who would've thought?
Oh my god.
Stasis Hunters now have a sort of mini silence and squad that they can deploy with a grenade. Ooh. This gives Revenant the ability to play a more team-focused role or to play more of an area denial/control game than they've been able to before.
This worm at Bungie.
And this is where I give it over to Steve.
Another week, another message from our unsung heroes over at the player support team. With a whole new narrative unfolding soon, there are quite a few things that we need to do on our side to prep the game for launch, including letting players know when to expect downtime, as well as adding clarification about Year 4 content, vaulting, and an update to our known issues list and more. This is their report. Launch schedule, boys. Scheduled downtime from 7 a.m. PST
Oh gosh.
on February 21st to 9 a.m. PST on February 22nd. So basically, it's going to go down Monday
whole day.
afternoon and come up at reset.
Yeah. So for a whole day, you're gonna have to find something else to do.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep maybe. I don't know.
Don't kill yourself, Steve, please.
We are
Try
here
to stay
call
calm.
us. We will keep you sane.
Just
7 p.m. Destiny is offline. 9 p.m. preload for hotfix 4.0.0.1 will be available on all platforms. 12 hours later, Destiny 2 will be brought back online. Hotfix 4.0.1 will be playable on all platforms and regions. And then 2 hours after that, 2 hours into the launch of the game, maintenance is scheduled to complete. So that'll get extended until, like, I don't know, 3 p.m.
Right. They'll take it offline because, you know.
Yeah.
But at least we'll be able to,
Who knows?
download
Maybe
it
I will get to launch in with you,
beforehand.
Stevie.
Exactly. Players using the PS4 download of Destiny 2 will be required to download the associated PS4 compatibility packs before playing the Witch Queen for the first time. These compatibility packs can be downloaded by launching Destiny 2 after preloading hotfix 4.0.0.1 during the downtime period. Once the compatibility packs have started downloading, players can and should subsequently close Destiny 2 to speed up the downloads.
Imagine not playing on PC.
Yeah, right. Imagine still having a PS4, am I right?
Bruh.
Actually,
I'm the only
I-
one.
No, I've got mine still, and I
Yeah,
got
but
a
you have a
PS5.
PS5.
Yeah, I got both.
Bungie rewards. As we're taking extended downtime prior to the launch of the Witch Queen, players looking to earn the following Bungie rewards should complete the associated in-game achievement before 7 p.m. PST on February 21st. And Outfly the Wolves pin, Strange Coin, Moments of Triumph's 2021 t-shirt, Beyond Light Artifact coin set, Techian hoodie, Aegir Scepter beanie, Deadeye, Realm Walker, Fatebreaker, Splinter, Descendant, MMXXI, all of them. Going away.
Well, the pins, not the
Yeah, not the steals, but the pins, the Bungie rewards. Players who have completed the associated in-game achievement for any of the Bungie rewards will have until February 28th to purchase their Bungie rewards through the Bungie website. As part of the scheduled downtime prior to the Witch Queen, Bungie rewards will not be available to purchase during the downtime window. Twitch gift sub bounty rewards will be updated with the Witch Queen. Players who are looking to obtain current Dressage emblem should complete the Twitch gift sub bounty and claim the reward in game before scheduled downtime on February 21st. For more information regarding the extension, go to the help article. Weapon cycling, Year 4 content, vaulting. The launch of the Witch Queen on February 22nd. Certain activities, quests, destination items, and weapons from the past seasons and expansions will become unavailable to access or earn. Full list in this TWAB. Known issues, visit the Hope Forum.
Interesting.
Alright, D-Rez, round us out.
Once more with feeling. Here's the lead up to the movie of the week. Hippie. Who doesn't like a good fan-made movie to sit down and chill out with? The correct answer is that everyone likes a nice thematic adventure because that would be a convenient segue into our movie of the week. Segue into our movie of the week portion of the TWAB program. Ta-da! For Netflix fans that are craving more arcane, one fan-made video brings the vision of Destiny 2 to life in a completely new and inspired way. Also, as a massive lo-fi beats fan, our second winner of the week became an insta-hit, and their latest Destiny-fied track has just the vibe to make that day a little bit better. Let's enjoy. 3, 2, 1.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. But once you turn, they hate us.
It's almost like a 007 thing.
Kinda.
I should like it. I'm a big fan of. I've yet to see a Netflix show that has a bad intro.
All right. Yeah, they spend
Yeah.
a considerable amount of time doing it.
And the only ones I really remember are the Marvel Netflix shows. And I always loved the Punisher and Daredevil ones a lot.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I'm with you on that.
So here's the last one. Eventide Serenity posted this or whatever, I guess. Let's start at 3, 2.
This is more just a song track
Oh.
than a video.
Is it? Yeah, we'll skip it. I'm gonna back out of that.
It is a really solid track though. If you do want to listen to it on your own time, it's got. Like,
I'm still listening to it.
It does have a nice vibe. So, we're gonna get back to DMG here. Sorry to hit the pause on a sweet TWAB, but I wanted to talk about something before we moved on from these fun movies. Moving forward, all contributors to Movie of the Week, or any community emblems like Art of the Week, fashion shows, etc., must be listed in the description of the creation at the time it is selected. Any contributors not present will not be considered for an emblem. Sorry to be a bit more firm here, but we've been dealing with some false claims for missing emblems. To keep these emblems meaningful and only grant them to those who've been participating in these awesome creations, we're just tightening things up for a bit. Alright, let's get back to the TWAB goodness. Here's some art. The Warlock Stormcaller. Looks pretty groovy. Some suspiciously wormy ammo. Oh, I see the reference there.
What does the box say? Oh, new ammo
shacks.
We are so excited each week to go through your tags, so please don't forget to tag your art with AOTW and Destiny 2 art. While not the beefy boy TWAB that last week's was, we figured a nice little recap would do well, since we had so much good stuff to drop this week. Seeing everyone's excitement after the Vidoc went live was a whirlwind for the team, causing a rush of joy and excitement to completely take over the studio. We have so much we can't wait to tell you and to show you. One more light, TWAB left, until the Witch Queen arrives, and then it's about time to go down. Are you ready?
Oh, boy, am I ready.
I'm
so ready.
I am
Especially with this track in the background, I'm